Hey YouTube, we're new team truck drivers, husband and wife. My name's Will.
I'm Kim.
And we just kind of got tired of our old 9-to-5s and the corporate life and IT, and decided to
IT for him, banking for me.
right, and went ahead and decided to take the plunge and do trucking. And I've always wanted to be a truck driver, and feel free to come in and whatever, to say whatever, but
And I never thought about it at all. But he came to me one day and asked me about trucking. Started to research it and told him that I think that we could actually do this. So when did we begin our journey? I began my journey back in June when I quit my job and had a few weeks off, and we started truck driving. He quit at the end of June, and we started truck driving right after the July 4th holiday.
Yep. And so that was phase one. We kind of got this broken down into phases.
Yep.
First one was leaving our old jobs and kind of tying up some loose ends on that side of things, and getting ready for trucking school. And for trucking school, we went with Roadmaster.
Great place.
Yeah, I have to say.
I love Roadmaster.
I mean, you hear some bad things, and you hear a lot of good things too. But I have to say that my experience was great. The trainers were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
Great bunch of guys that
Yep.
I've gotten to know, and basically at this point, these guys are going to be friends for life. And gave me what I needed to, and gave us what we needed to get our CDLs, in which we do have now with all our endorsements on them.
Yes, finally. It took him only 3 weeks, and it took me a little longer than that. About 3 weeks after, so it was twice the amount of time for me than it was for him.
Yeah. Kind of the way that process is, if any of you guys are like thinking about getting into truck driving and want to know more about it, we'll break it down. I'll break it down really quick, and maybe later on we'll make a video going into more detail on that. But you decide what school you're going to go to, either what they call like a churn and burn, I think, which is a Roadmaster's type. You get 3 weeks. You do all the you learn all the read the books, learn all the course material, and then once you get done with that, you start practicing in the truck for about a week straight of doing just skills, right? Backing up,
yep.
Parallel backing up, 90-degree backing up, offset, straight line.
Yep.
Then you start hitting the road, and we just so happen to be lucky enough that the path that we were taking during our training period was the same exact route that we took during our driving test. So that kind of worked out real nice.
Yeah, that was
we're
really
kind
nice. Really
of used to it, and you get, you're more comfortable with that, right? Than just going someplace that you don't know.
Definitely.
With a truck. But right from the beginning. So. And after 3 weeks, you go and you take your test. Now, test is broken up into 3 parts, right? It's the
your
written
pre-trip.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the permit.
Oh,
that's right, guys. You got to you should get your permit before you even go to one of these schools, because it's just going to set you back. It's going to take extra time off.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and just pretty much studied before we even went to the school, and got ours during the first week of Roadmasters. But I do suggest getting it even before you show up. That way you don't have to mess around with it. But because we had jobs and we were kind of tying up all those loose ends and what have you, it kind of pushed us back just a little bit. But we got ours. And then so your permit is going to be your what's the first one? It's your general knowledge.
General knowledge, then combination, and air brakes. So those are the 3.
All right.
Combination tests and air brakes.
And those are the ones you need to know just for that permit. And
it's just basic trucks.
Yeah, as long as you read the book and maybe do some online practice tests, there's a website, CRISCDL. If you put that in Google, it'll take you to a nice place where you can just run some of the tests over and over again until you kind of get that
down
embedded,
in the description box too.
embedded in your mind. But yeah, so after the 3 weeks, you go to take your actual CDL test, and that is the pre-trip.
Then your skills, which consist of your straight line backing, offset, and then they will choose between one of both sides of the parallel, your driver's side and your passenger side, or you can get alley dock.
And this might be different for some states. This is the way it was here in Ohio. So it may be just a little bit different, especially the pre-trip. I know some states do have different parts that are in the pre-trip. Like I've seen some where they actually look at like the steering column, and that's, you have to check for play on that. But in the one in Ohio, we didn't even look at that at all. So that kind of all depends. And when you're looking out there for practice tests, definitely make sure you're doing it for the right state, because you'll be answering questions for the wrong state, and then when you go to take your test, you're like, what the hell? But yeah, definitely do that. And then the last one is the road. Did you already say that?
In the road.
Okay. Yeah. So you do a road test, and basically just like when you went to get your regular driver's license, you can't hit curbs and people.
Hitting babies.
No babies. But yeah, and then once you get done with that, boom, you get your they put it in the system, and then you go to your BMV, DMV, whatever they call it in your state, and you pick up your license. Now, there was always a lot of questions about endorsements. When do you take the test? Your hazmat, how all that stuff works out. So real quick, in Ohio, and again, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but basically you have to get your license first before you even try to get endorsements. Some people have been saying, oh, well, I'll get my endorsements, I'll take the test for my endorsements, and I'll have it in the system for 60 days, and then when I get my license, then I can go ahead and slap them on. Nope.
They make you pay twice.
That may have been the way it was, and I think it just recently changed.
Yep, I believe it was in July that it
so,
changed this year in 2015. So.
Yep. So now you have to get your CDL first.
You have to get the actual license.
You can't even test for your endorsements.
You cannot test.
You have to get your CDL first. Then, and you got to get your CDL, and do you have to buy it?
You have to buy your
Not only
license.
do you have to have your CDL, but you have to buy the license first. And this is a little bit, I think this is kind of like a scam. Because you get your CDL, then you have to buy the license, then you get you take the test for whatever endorsements you want to add on there. And the endorsements are doubles and triples. Well, we have doubles and triples, tankers, and hazmat.
You have to get a background check too. That's an extra cost.
So basically, you have to buy your license, then take the test for your endorsements. Pay for if you want to get your hazmat, you got to get your background check, fingerprints, and all that done by the TSA, and then you'll get a letter stating that whether or not you were given the ability to get your HME. And once you do have that, you go and you finished all your other tests, and you take your hazmat test. Then you have to buy your license again, which I think is kind of just another way for them to get more money, because before you could take all those tests before you even got your CDL, then get your CDL, and then they just slap them all on your CDL, and you don't have to keep rebuying your license. But that's the way it is now, guys. You got to buy it, do your endorsements, buy it again to make sure that those endorsements show up on your driver's license. Yep. So that's how it's working out in Ohio, and they might be doing that in other places too. So yeah, that's where we're at now. We got all our endorsements now. We went with KLLM. Just because we just kind of like the people that we've seen come from there, some other people on YouTube that have worked for them, and we've gone through their website, and it just seems like the right company for us. Again, and that's another thing, and maybe we'll talk about that some other time too, about picking your company. You're going to hear a lot of stuff about, oh, this company is no good, or they do this, or their lease purchase is this, or you know, they don't pay enough, blah, blah, blah. Man, do the research for yourself.
Yes, but we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah, because this video is going to get really long.
This is just our intro. So.
Right. This is our intro and where we're at right now. So now we're on phase 2, you would say?
We're actually on we're working on phase 3.
We're on phase 3 because guess what? Tomorrow we jump on the Greyhound and head over to Jackson, Mississippi. And get started with our orientation. It's supposed to be a 3-day orientation, and there'll be more videos to come about that. And so that's where we are right now. So there it is, YouTube. So look forward to more videos. We basically, you know, these videos are for information purposes.
He's going way too long.
I looked on YouTube, and when I put team truck drivers, I mean, I only seen maybe like 2 or 3 that really kept my attention, and that actually are consistently putting out videos. There's like Rushing with the Greens, and then there's Jade and John. We'll put their links in there too. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's some other ones. I'll probably in the future put those guys in there too. But there's a lot of great resources on YouTube for anybody who's interested into getting into truck driving. So I think think we're good to go now.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for watching. You know, like, subscribe if you want to see more videos. They will be coming, and look forward to that. So see ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.